Hey guys, what's up? Doing a review on the game today I found on Steam called One Finger Death Punch. It's an indie stickman fighter game, which is different, and also is the first ever on the rail fighter, which is also different. You can use a variety of fighting styles, or I should say kung fu fighting styles, like Praying Mantis, Eagle Claw, and Tiger Claw, and a couple more. You also get 21 different skills that help you while you're taking on mobs and mobs and mobs of enemies. Sometimes these enemies are easy, sometimes they're not. And trust me, you're going to need to unlock those skills to help you because there's a lot of enemies in this game.
Enemy is.
And if you're wondering, and while you're wondering, there is no story mode at all. None whatsoever. Just pick it up, press start, hit a main game mode, and bam, there you go, kick ass. In the graphics department though, the whole world is 2D. But that doesn't take away from the many great looking visual effects. From x-ray vision of enemies whose bones just got shattered, and yes, Stickman's bones do get shattered in this game. Especially from like gut-wrenching blows to the face and to the gut. To Kill Bill like style scenes also. But with all these effects going on, sometimes they can be overwhelming and a little bit overbearing when the game picks up speed. Especially when the game picks up speed. I wouldn't say that's a heavy negative on the game itself, but just something to be wary of. While there are 250 levels in the game, you only get 13 stage types. So sometimes it feels repetitive. You'll be running into the same stage design many times, which can be viewed as a downside / negative to the game. Now, for the gameplay portion, you play with the left and the right mouse buttons. Since it's an on-the-rail fighter, you do not use your directional pad to move your fighter. Or if you have a 360 controller, whether it be emulated and or wired, you use X and B. And we all know button mashing can be fun at times, but as simple as this game looks, is as complex as it can be. Button mashing in this game will get you killed. You must only press any button once and enemies within range. Remember, within range. Your range is represented by 2 gray bars on either side of your fighter. When enemies get close enough to attack, the number of hits they can take it will show up in those gray bars. Anytime you press an attack button and no enemy is there to attack, you miss. And when you miss, you leave yourself open to attack. The game gets faster the better you do. You can reach up to 200% game speeds. While this makes for exciting, fast-paced kung fu action, it can get a little overwhelming when you have progressed far enough and start to face different colored and more complex enemies, which you will. There is a weapon system. Usually an enemy comes at you with a weapon, throws one from a distance. You then have to either defeat the enemy holding said weapon or catch it by pressing the corresponding buttons, which would be X or B. There are daggers, staffs, swords, nunchucks, and even lightsabers, though you get the nunchucks and lightsabers only during special stages. You also get abilities ranging from freezing enemies on one side of the screen to be able to wield weapons longer. And those abilities which be categorized as skills. The catch to using them though is that you must defeat a certain number of enemies in order to be able to have access to those. That's not bad considering if you're overpowered the game wouldn't be as much fun. Side note here, your weapons only last but so long. Remember, your weapons only last but so long. But don't worry, there will be enough enemies for you to defeat so you can get your hands on some more weapons. You can go back and replay any stage you want, earning higher scores and higher medals, with bronze being the lowest and platinum being the highest. And I would say if you're seeing platinum all the time, the game is probably not even challenging anymore for you and you should probably find something else to play. Because once you reach 200 game speed and you can stay there, it's just gonna be, boring as hell. But for those of us who aren't, OCD inclined, the game will remain challenging. Now for the 1-to-1 response system, it's great. No worries about input lag anywhere. Every punch and kick feels smooth. No sloppy motions, no jittering, nothing at all. And here's another thing. The game runs at a solid 60 frames per second. Even with fraps going, there was really never any frame drop at all. Which is funny because when you look at these AAA titles, a lot of them get locked at 30 frames per second. Yes, I know it's, a 2D game and whatnot, but I still find that hilarious where the game can do a constant 60 even while recording. And, big budget companies can barely keep 30 constantly. Now, my verdict for the game is this. It's one of those hidden gems in Steam that you come across every now and then, and it's an indie title, so, not every indie title for $4.99 is going to be great. It's kind of, you get what you pay for in that department, even though sometimes AAA titles can have you pay $60 for some bullshit, SimCity, but that's besides the point. With this game, you can pick it up, it's easy to play, anybody can play it. It's sort of like Simon Says for your fingers. If you think about it, once you play through it long enough, you're going to have endless hours of fun with Kung Fu action nonetheless. You can, live out your praying mantis and drunken master dreams without actually having to get up, punch somebody in the mouth, and worried about getting your ass kicked in return because you're really not a Kung Fu master. But all in all, one finger death punch, go out, pick it up, try it out, and if you don't like it, hey, it was only $4.99. This has been Dark Side. Peace.